Yo, what's good people? Welcome back to the video. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I normally mix my beats. Okay, stay with me. I'm going to share with you one of the ways that I love to mix my beats. So guys, let's get into it. As you can see right now, everything is grouped accordingly. We have the kick. All right, let me just enable the kick. This is on mix right now. But what I'm going to do right now is just to identify it. All right, stay with me. So I know that this is my kick and I know that this one. So, and we have the rooms. So let me just disable this one. All right, just to share something with you. So as you can see it right now from here, you know, we have the tom, we have the snare, we have the snare. So as you can hear it right now, this is the hi-hats. Everything is named accordingly. All right. So the first thing I love to do is to extract all of them. All right. Individually, we have the hi-hat, we have the, you know, the room, we have the snare, we have the tom, you know, we have the kick, just to extract all of them to just a WAV file. All right. So after extracting them, then I will now pound all of them individually to the mixer. Let me just show you guys right now. Let me show you guys something. So as you can see it, we have the room, okay, which is panned to track 7. All right, just go to type and you put the value. All right, so if I play it now, you can see it here. As you can see it's on track 7 and we have this one. So guys, as you can see, this is 1. So everything you see here, they are all panned to the mixer. You can see this one is 8. This one is 3. Just the way you see it, okay? Everything is panned, all right? So I wouldn't send all of them to the mixer. That's how you send them to the mixer, all right? So let's go to the mixer as we begin to engage and mix it, okay? I'm just going to detach this again. Now, the first thing I like to mix, all right, or you can start with anything of your choice, but let's just start with the tom, which is the tom, all right? So let's load in to save time. I've saved some preset, all right? I'm just going to load in my preset, go to file, make, all right, and then the tom, all right? As you can see it, I've saved the preset. Now this is it. This is before, this is after. All right, so just to save time. All right, so this is how I normally mix the tutorial beats. Okay, the drums, this is how I normally mix it. And what did I have here? It's just 2 things. You know, we have the track 5 EQ. You know, under the preset you pick the toms. Okay, so if you have this plugins, it's a very powerful one. All right, you know, let me just disable it. Let me show you guys. Can you see that? After, before, after. So it's a very powerful and very nice stuff. And then I use easy mix, and then I pick one of these presets, which is tom 1. It sounds more better. All right, before, after. All right, having said that, I go to the snare. All right, so right click, go to file, and then there's the snare. I've already saved them. Okay, we have the snare from the preset, remember? So I use the snare out of it, and then this one I pick snare and tight. All right, so I pick one of these presets, okay, and I leave it to the EQ, I leave it to 100%, and this one the transient attack to 70%. Okay, so literally that's what I did. All right, and it sounds like this. Before, after. So as you can see, it's more better. All right, it's much better and tight. Let's go to hi-hats, right click, go to file and go to mixer, hi-hats. So I'm just going to do the same thing to all of them now. But for the kick, I'm going to leave it this way. I'm going to show you guys how I will mix the kick later. All right. Though I have some preset for the kick, but because I'm using 808 kick, so I may not really do much. All right. So I'm going to explain the kick later, but let me show you guys this one, the hi-hats, and then we pick this one. All right. And then from this one, you want to pick tight and crispy hi-hats. Okay. So let me show you before, and this is after. So it's much better. All right. Now for the kick, let me show you guys what I did for the kick. As you can see it, we have this is the kick. All right. Now let me show you guys something. Now as you can see, the kick itself sound much better. It's much punchy, and of course it's very nice. So I don't need to do too much because I'm using 808 kick. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is just to gain stage a little bit. So I double the kick. All right. That's why this is before. Now when I had this one, just to double it, you see it's more heavy. So I like to double my kick. Okay. What did I do? What I did is just to copy this one, right click and what? And paste. Okay. Literally that's what this is it. Let me show you guys. And this is all right. So when you double it, it makes it more, soft and punch, it makes it more soft. All right. So it's a little bit, I think, but of course you can just leave it like this. You can just use one kick. It doesn't matter. But, I want it to carry more weight. All right. So I just leave 2 kick. Okay. So literally that's it. That's how I will mix. And then, so all of them now, let's say how they sound. Okay. All right. So of course, when you record, all right, it's gonna have some bleed. All right, some room reverbs and all that. So I try to, like all of this one now contains the bleed. Okay, you can see it. So normally I don't really used to do much. What I just do is just to bring this guy and put it here. Then I will now go and use this one, the overheads. All right, I'll just use the overheads for this one, just to get rid of the like 47 heads thereabout, to take away the loads. All right, so I don't really used to do much when it comes to this one. All right, so I just duplicate, so literally that's how I process my drums. This is one of the ways that I mix it. All right, there are a lot of ways that I mix it. All right, and for the kick, so what I'm going to do right now, as you can hear it, so what I'm going to do right now is to load this guy. This plugin is a very powerful one. I'm just going to go to soft, before, sorry, before, after. You see that it's much punchier. All right, but if I make it very hard, it's going to be very too loud. You can see it. So I love to take it to like very soft. All right, and then since I layer this, so now the best thing I would like to do it is just to create another box. So I just move it to the side, and of course you can hold shift and use your scroll wheel to move around. All right, your mouse, the scroll wheel in the mouse, you just move it around. All right, this and this one, highlight it, right click and route to this track only. Okay, then you can give it a color of your choice. And then let's just say this is the kick. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is to delete this one and put it here instead. Okay. So then I'll go back to softs, which is, yep, I think it's much better now. Awesome. All right. Because I want to do something. I'm still going to show you guys what I wanted to do. Okay. So yeah, everything look awesome. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to enable all of them. This is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to route all of these two again to another bus and create another bus. All right, give it a color. Maybe let's use this time around. Okay, stay with me. And then I'm just going to say this is the drum. Remember, everything here route to this guy. Let me just separate it so that you guys can get it. This is the kick, and this is the pause, and everything here is routed to this guy. Okay. So as you can see, it's very simple and straightforward. All right. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to load this guy, all right, to the kick and come here, which is this guy. As you can see, it's very simple and straightforward. So what I'm going to do right now is to come to the EQ. All right. So this one, I'm going to say link to the controller. All right. Come here. I'm going to say pick control pick. Then, just come here, invert it and accept. That's the first step. Okay. Then you go to this one. The P controller, I'm going to set it to about 50%. All right, 50% thereabouts. And then go back to this one, open it by side. So look at what happens whenever the kick punch. So as you can see it, whenever the kick punch, it's ducked down a little bit so that it can give room for the low hand for the kick. All right. So the idea is to give, to reserve the lows, all right, for the kick. All right. So that it can punch through very well. All right. So that's the idea. All right. But sometimes it's not really necessary that you do it, but I love to do it just to make things much better. All right. So that's it. That's it right there. And whenever it punch right now, you see it. As you can see, it's very simple, right? Then I'm now going to create another thing called submaster, all right? All right. So I'm going to give it another color of your choice. Maybe this time, let's pick this one. Right click. Then I want to say dock to the right. All right. I send it here so that we can have, this is the master. Let's give it color. This is the first master. We have this one as our what? Sub master. All right. So what I'm going to do literally is to send this bus, this one, remember the kick, I will say right click and route to this track only. Do you understand? Very simple. Then I'll come here, this one, the bus right now, right click and what? Route to this guy only. All right. Very straightforward, so that I can control it here a little bit. So I'm going to return this one. Awesome. All right. So the next thing you want to do right there is sometimes I love to pull this guy tape machine just to make it more heavy. All right. Let's take a listen. You see, it's more punchier and more heavy. All right. But sometimes I don't use it every time. But let's see for this tutorial. Let's see this one. This is without. So I think this one is, I'm just going to gain stage a little bit. I'll come here Let's take 70. All right, so what we are doing right now is to what? Gain stage. It is very important that you gain stage. All right. Yeah. So now to check our measurement, what I'm going to do is to load this guy. So I want to check the loudness. All right. Because I'm still gonna master it. All right. So before I master it, I make sure that I mix it. Then I bring then I wanna export it as a WAV file. All right. So is that one I wanna take to the main song. That's the full instrumental. Then I can now master all the tracks together. All right. So this is how I normally do my stuff. Okay. So you can see it's very loud, it's speaking red, which is clipping. So what I'm gonna do right now is to reduce the volume a little bit. All right. So of course I'll just load this guy. Stay with me. I'm sure you will learn some little tips. So I'll remove this one. I don't need all these ones. And then let me just take away minus 3 dB out of it. And let's see. This is before. As you can see it right there, it's picking red. All right, it's picking red. Take a look at it. So it's just trying to tell you that, guy, you are clipping. All right. So what I'm gonna do right now, to have a healthy mix, so I'm just gonna reduce it a little bit, like minus 3 dB. And now let's take a listen. You see now? So right now, so our mixing is very healthy now. All right. Then another thing I would like to add to the bass, to the kick, to be a little bit more punchier. All right. And, is to add this guy. All right. So I'm just going to reset all of them to default. All right. So what I need this plugin to do on the kick is just to make it more, just to add a little bit of weight to it. So I'm just going to increase the bass a little bit. Without, this is bypass right now. This is with the plugin. So guys, I think we are good. Let me just reduce minus 2 dB. Let's see. Yeah, so guys, as you can see it, I reduced minus 2 dB. All right, just to make sure that we are very much the stuff is much better than before. All right, so literally this is how I mix my drums and the kick. This is how I process all of them. All right, so before I now extract it and put it inside the what's it called, the other instruments. All right, before I now share with you guys on YouTube. All right, as you can see, what we have here now is only the drums. So I love to process the drums separate. Then after processing the drum, once I'm done mixing it, I'll now take it to the instrumental, the entire production. All right, so literally this is how I normally mix the drums. I've been sharing with you guys on YouTube. This is one of the ways that I mix. There are a lot of plugins that I have to mix my drum, but of course most of the time I also stick with this concept. All right, so literally if you can apply this concept to your next mixes, definitely you're going to have a tremendous result. All right. So literally that's it. Then what I'm going to do right now is to export it. So let me just show you guys. Control R on the keyboard, Control R, or you just come here and then you want to see what export. Okay. So drum, I give it a name, that's drum mix. All right. And then this is it, drum mix. I save it. So what I'm going to do right now for the settings, I leave it as what, full song. All right. Cut, I leave it as cut remainder, and I have it as wave. So I love to put it as 32 bits. All right. The reason why I'm doing this way is that this mixing process. All right. But when I want to master it, I love to put it as 24. The idea is to preserve the entire details. All right. So that's the idea. But if you now want to master your beat and all that, for instance, for streaming platforms, you can put it to 24 or 16. All right. But the idea is to put it to the highest value so that I preserve the entire details. All right. So, and then I leave this one to this, and you can just copy what I have here to your, all right. So, and then what you do is, boom, you start it. Remember, this is just mixed, not mastered. I hope that this video is helpful. Until the next one, stay creative.